Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something.
Fake news, fake news, fake news. Now you understand why the president calls the news fake news. Now you understand why Donald Trump has been putting this information out about fake news. It's because he understands that it's only a handful of CEOs who control all form of media that is put out to the masses of the public. That includes TV, music, movies, news, radio, internet, and books. So we understand that James O'Keefe did an undercover investigation, either himself or had somebody go in there and do the investigation and talk to the supervisor producer at CNN, John Bonnefield, and uncovers the truth about the whole Russia investigation. He says at one point in the investigation that they will already know and they will already have it sufficient and full proof of what's going on.
House Republicans tonight surprised everybody by announcing that they have concluded, wrapped up, and finished their Russia investigation.
Good evening, friends. We start tonight with new developments in the year-long investigation into alleged Russian meddling and collusion. Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee say tonight that their investigation is over, and they have found no evidence that candidate Donald Trump or his campaign colluded with the Russians.
Christmas in July came early this year, just one day after 3 of their journalists had to quit, including an executive editor of one of their investigation units, after another one of their Trump-Russia conspiracy stories turned out to be fake.
There's undercover video of a supervising producer at CNN describing in detail how the whole Russian narrative has been complete propaganda, all to just, well, generate money and revenues, of course. And I've been saying that from the get-go, that this whole Russian narrative thing was just a complete distraction from, oh my God, so many other things.
No smoking gun. We have no real proof.
No real proof, he says, and that speaks volumes about today's mainstream media. Bonnefield says CNN loves the Russia story not because it's true, but because people want it to be true. They're feeding their audience a false narrative in order to get ratings. Their enthusiasm to report false news is getting the better of them. On Saturday, CNN imposed strict internal restrictions on all future Russia stories after they had to delete and retract a story that was poorly sourced. And yesterday, 3 CNN staffers resigned, victims of fake news.
Let me just point out that this guy's not just some summer intern. He's worked there for 15 years, and something tells me today is his last day. The president's right.
No smoking gun. We have no real proof.
No real proof, he says.
Hopefully we can get up on the trending module on YouTube. That is, of course, if they just don't artificially censor it, as Facebook, of course, has been known to do. And it appears that's what YouTube does, too. It's only Tuesday, and it's already a horrible week for CNN. Like I said just yesterday, 3 of their journalists, including an executive editor, had to resign after another one of their fake news stories was exposed as being fake news by Breitbart News. Then this insider memo was leaked from one of their executives saying that no one should publish any content involving Russia without coming to me and Jason first. This applies to social, video, editorial, and money stream. No exceptions. I will lay out the workflow on Monday. Thanks. This time, instead of just Orwellianly changing the headline and deleting certain parts of the article like they usually do, and then adding some, and then just putting a little editor's note in there that they updated it, they deleted the entire article from their website and put this editor's note up there that says, on June 22nd, 2017, CNN published a story connecting Anthony Scaramucci with investigations into the Russia Direct Investment Fund. That story did not meet CNN's editorial standards and has been retracted. Links to the story have been disabled, and CNN apologizes to Mr. Scaramucci. Oh, I guess I smell a future defamation lawsuit, CNN. This, of course, just more fake news. This while CNN's big head honcho, Jeff Zucker, says that President Trump is shameful and that he is the one who is endangering reporters. CNN chief Jeff Zucker says that the level of threats faced by his journalists is more serious than people realize, and he lays the blame squarely at the feet of President Donald Trump and other politicians he says try to delegitimize the press.
I'm actually, I see some goodness in this guy, because when you look at this, so they got to do what they got to do to make their money, I think. And so I love the news business, but I'm very cynical about it. And at the same time, so are most of my colleagues. So they're actively acknowledging that they sacrifice their integrity to make money. But he's acknowledging the good in him. He's talking to this individual undercover who he doesn't, of course, know is undercover. But he wants to get off his chest. He knows that there's something wrong about it, obviously. And he states, again, how close his relationship is to the CEO, sitting in the same meetings as the CEO. Jeff Zucker, who is a person of incredibly low character, who will do anything to make money, including lie to the American public. Think about this, guys. But it goes up higher than that. CNN, who, of course, Jeff Zucker is the CEO of. Guys, this company is owned and operated by Time Warner, who nobody even realizes that Jeff Bukes is the CEO for Time Warner that owns hundreds of other media outlets, okay? Including CNN. This is the guy who is responsible. He's the guy who gives Jeff Zucker a freaking job.
Now, all you guys have to really do is take a little bit of time and do a little bit of research when it comes to Russia. And I don't mean, just looking at some random crap that you see on TV, but do some investigation of your own. Go on the internet, some unbiased sites, and just find out yourself, like, why does America have such an issue with Russia? What is this whole story coming from? What's the whole situation with the media outlet and Trump? Why do they have a problem? If you follow the money, if you follow the whole investigation out yourself, and you go down the rabbit hole, and you're willing to go down that hole, you'll find out some truths, some stuff that you guys would never believe. And I mean, this rabbit hole goes deep. And they got Trump by the tail. Trump saying that he's an outsider. He's not a fucking outsider. He's full of bullshit and everything. Yeah, I respect Trump on some level. And on a lot of other levels, man, he's just a part of the game, You got these Democrats talking one thing and then these Republicans talking another. They're all full of it, man. I saw a video from Bright Insights, and basically he had some links in there of the investigation. I have the entire video at the end of my video, but if you go to Bright Insights, you can actually go there, and he has a link to the video of the undercover investigation that was put out by James O'Keefe. Hope you guys like, stay tuned, and subscribe. I will have more videos coming. Take care.